you all for coming out to the Goddess Show. Absolutely. We are on a press tour. We have to inform you all tonight or this afternoon. It is 4:44 p.m. I want to say if you want to send gifts, if you want to send Goddess gifts, you can ship to P.O. Box 195 1717 North Peoria Avenue. Okay. So before we get started, you already know what we got to do. Stay tuned. Well, hello and welcome back to Keeping Up with Queen Tulsa. I'm your host, Goddess Tulsa. I wanted to come out today and give you guys some content, but first we'll start right here.
Women of color have been murdered.
It's not just murders. Countless more of my trans brothers and sisters have survived brutal attacks. It's a subject deeply personal to me as someone fighting for transgender visibility, with many in my community wondering, am I next?
Tonight,
My name is Malaysia, and you can call me Lay.
the story of Malaysia Booker, an out and proud trans woman, brutally beaten, then murdered.
Say her name!
My reaction honestly was, am I next?
Now taking a stand on the streets, on TV,
How lucky are we? We create ourselves.
and on the political stage.
Claire Legato, Malaysia Booker.
So I want to be the first to say that I'm so proud and so honored and blessed to be able to stand up and have a voice for my sisters that are not currently here with us. And I'm going to walk with my head up. I'm going to walk with plenty of pride. And I know that I'm representing for my sisters.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We're back now with actress Dominique Jackson, here to highlight the often overlooked state of hate and violence against the transgender community, especially trans women of color.
It's so important because the transgender community is oftentimes marginalized in America. Our stories unheard, dismissed, and discarded. Tonight, emotional and frightening stories from the victims.
Close your eyes. Open your eyes. Smile.
When you see Malaysia, you instantly see the biggest smile.
Malaysia Booker's personality sparkles.
She's very infectious.
My name is
Okay, so I have to stop like every 15 seconds to give you guys an update. So Malaysia is about to tell her story. This is just bringing awareness to Black trans lives in general, but really focusing on Black trans women of color.
Malaysia, and you can call me Lay.
Hey, best friend.
Out and proud. At 22, a beacon for other trans women in Dallas who admired her, like her self-appointed auntie, Jasmine.
I have been trans all these years, but I mostly lived in my house. She made me want to get out and live and just be visible.
But that visibility made Malaysia a target. In April, a minor fender bender escalating into a horrifying assault. A warning, it's difficult to watch. Bystanders capturing it all on video quickly.
Okay, so I have to stop it right here. The violence against trans women, as you guys can see, there is predominantly more heterosexual people out there encouraging this type of behavior, right? So let's continue to watch. And let me go ahead and say this. If you are triggered, this is just an informative. This is real life. This is, has been my life at one point in time with me and a group of my friends, but I wasn't alone. Like me and a group of my friends, we had to fight guys. So I'm just giving some light to what it is that we really have to go through because people only see, oh, well, I see her on the internet and she does this. Well, how about this? My life.
Going viral. Malaysia later told police her attackers hurled transphobic slurs at her. This man was arrested for the beating. His lawyer tells us he intends to plead not guilty.
I get the chills coming here. The whole apartment complex was outside and nobody helped her.
After several excruciating minutes, a few women finally dragged Malaysia to safety, unconscious, with a concussion and a broken wrist.
This happens on a daily. Another one of my friends got killed right up the street from here. It breaks my heart, but it's reality. As a Black trans woman, it makes me feel scared. I feel alone. I feel ashamed. I feel hopeless.
Malaysia was feeling that hopelessness too. After the beating, it was Auntie Jasmine who Malaysia asked for.
Okay, so we have to look at it like this. I mean, violence is everywhere, and I get it. I get it. I get it. But being Black and being trans, being different, people, some people like to make fun of it because that's what they were taught in the house, right? But this is real life. And this is, I'm going to tell you what the cause and effect is. The cause is, people are against it. And the effect is, let me play this video.
So I just started praying over her. She pulled me by my shirt and she tells me, Amy, I told you they hate us. Our own people hate us. They want us dead. I'm actually feeling very nervous right now.
A transgender woman punched and kicked in the street by a group of men, and the brutal attack is all on video.
It wasn't the first time she'd been attacked, but this time, Malaysia chose to speak out.
Now, let me say this. It really takes a lot of courage to stand up and speak out when something has happened this traumatic and devastating. And now we are going to hear from Malaysia.
This time it was me, the next time it could be someone else.
But before she faced those cameras, Jessica Anderson, her best friend from long before she transitioned, helped her get ready.
When I got done with her makeup, this was the first time I ever seen my best friend look at herself and just be like, I look really, really pretty. I look like a girl. And she was really, really, really beautiful that day.
I can stand before you, whereas in other scenarios, we are at a memorial. Our time to seek justice is now. If not now, when?
A brave, beautiful moment, but Malaysia would never see justice. Just weeks after that rallying cry, in the quiet of an early morning, Malaysia was found dead.
Detectives found Booker face down early Saturday morning.
Police say Malaysia Booker was shot and killed.
Approximately 3 p.m., the victim was positively identified as Malaysia Booker.
Have you heard about this education stimulus program? This could deposit.
So How convenient. How convenient. She stands up for herself and then this happens. We'll watch. Rest in peace to our sister Malaysia, Layla.
Just really can't imagine somebody doing it to her.
Dallas police arrested this man for her murder. His trial pending. His alleged motive still unclear.
Malaysia was somebody's daughter. Malaysia Booker was human. She wanted to live like everybody else.
Malaysia is one of at least 18 trans women of color who've been killed this year alone. The real number likely higher. The data shows the trans identity of nearly 3/4 of victims is initially left out from police and media reports.
Trans rights are human rights! Trans rights are human rights!
The American Medical Association.
Until we can wake it up and let these people know, even the people on YouTube, all this back and forth, all this threatening, all this hate. Are you the ones that are out here in these streets that are carrying on with this violence? Are you the same ones that are sitting back with your camera phones, looking at it, encouraging it? Because you encourage it on here. I wouldn't be surprised if you weren't encouraging it in your real life. The hate, the disdain.
Association calling the violence an epidemic.
Malaysia Booker, say her name! Malaysia Booker!
Over several months, we traveled the country, hearing similar stories of anti-trans violence.
What was your reaction to hear not one, but 2 trans women of color?
Okay, so now we are here in the part where you're going to hear from other trans women, their experiences, just being trans, just being wanting to be themselves and live like everybody else. And I feel like it's not even a separation or anything like that, because first of all, trans women, we're women, okay? But my thing is, this has been a man's world. Men dominate this world. You know what I'm saying? Women, we had to fight for our rights they had to fight for women's rights back in the days, just so we can vote. You get what I'm saying? So it was never, but being a trans woman, being Black and living in your truth, like, why y'all mad at me? I'm over here living my life. We're over here living our lives in our own spaces. Why do we have to hurt? Why do we have to kill? Why do we have to, unalive? Why do we have to promote the hate in media violence? Why can't we sit in a space and just enjoy each other as human beings and have a conversation? Why does it have to be, what are you and what do you identify as and what you got in between your legs? Why does it have to come to that? Why does the conversation have to go left because something that you didn't notice was brought to your attention and now you have a different feeling? Where did that feeling go of happiness? Why are you so triggered? Why is it a disconnect? Why do we hurt each other? Why do we hurt each other? Everything you're looking for lies behind the mask you wear.
Gunned down in a matter of months on the same street?
I was shocked. My reaction, honestly, was am I next?
But ask yourself, if it was any other community being targeted, would there be more outrage?
I feel like I'm an endangered species, and I'm aware of that. But I cannot stop living.
The struggles of women like Jasmine have been largely ignored. The media spotlight has mostly been on white trans women like Caitlyn Jenner, Jazz Jennings, and Kim Petras.
let me just sound off. And, you know, when we say, oh, the black woman goes missing or the black man goes missing, there's no coverage. When a black trans woman is beat and assaulted and shot up and killed up or even burnt up, because there are stories out there like that. And this is the thing, trans women have existed in this space. It was just not brought to the TV until later years. But this is the thing. Yes, you have some people that infiltrate the trans women that are really trans women. Like you have people that infiltrate it and commit these acts and go into bathrooms and things like that. But every trans woman is not like that. And yes, God protect all people. We are all God's children. No matter how you see us, no matter what type of walk of life somebody comes from, we are all God's children and we all deserve respect. We all deserve to live. We all deserve to be able to share these spaces without being murdered, without being killed. And that's any and everybody. But the trans community, that's what we're talking about today. Shout out to Pride Month. Shout out to Trans Lives Matter, and shout out to our sisters that have went on to glory and that was fighting that fight. Sister, I'm here to pick that fight up, and I don't give a damn who get mad. I'm gonna be on this thing every day. My fight doesn't stop here. It doesn't just stop. It doesn't just start and stop just because it's Pride Month. My fight is going to fight until there's no breath in my body.
That's now changing thanks to boundary pushing shows like Pose. Now, stories about the non white trans struggle are becoming more visible.
11 girls have been killed this year.
She would have wanted us to honor her memory.
Leading the charge for awareness, trans celebrities of color themselves, like Laverne Cox. Both Dominique Jackson and India Moore have been open about their past struggles.
I've already seen the worst of what my life could be. So it's very easy for me to stand up for myself and others without thinking too much about the risks that come with that.
And that's how I'm feeling right now. I am willing to stand up and share my voice. I don't give a damn who get upset, who gets mad. I'm going to talk about these issues because they are issues that affect my community. My sisters that I grew up with, walked the block with. Some of them didn't make it out. Some of them didn't make it out. And listen, I'll take y'all into that. I'm actually working on my book right now. I know my mod Sonia, she's working on her book, but I'm working on the book right now, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. So definitely stay tuned. And Deborah Nichols says, "You're somebody's child." Hello, how are you, Deborah? I do apologize. Hello, how are you? God protect all people, and you're somebody's child. Absolutely, we are all somebody's child. Okay, and you have to take it back like this. Just think of it like this. You find out you're pregnant, you're excited, you have a bundle of joy, and you love that baby unconditional, no matter what. And can't nobody fuck with that baby. Okay? Let's get that energy back in motion.
The risks are something that these trans youth face daily. They come here to Casa Ruby, a safe haven in the nation's capital.
When you're in this life, it's survival of the fittest.
Many who seek shelter here say they've been kicked out of their homes for being trans.
When you've been rejected by everyone that you supposedly love, you come here to find love and support.
And have you ever been verbally abused, physically abused out in the world?
I mean, once. I mean, I got raped like 5 times, but that's something.
Bianca, that is not normal.
That's something.
But You just dismissively say, I
Yeah.
was raped 5 times.
Yeah, because I don't want to give any emotion to it. Because if you don't,
And see, that's another thing. The R word. That happens. That happens. And you do feel looked over, they don't believe you, or they whoever's handling the case, they put their own personal beliefs in it. And if they know that person, they're going to go based off of what they think. Because, okay, this is a trans person. We're not advertising this. Nobody knows about it. So it's easy to dump it in the trash. But we'll continue. And I'm missing I love you too, Miss Deborah Nichols.
don't give anything to it, then it won't grow. And I'm not trying to give no emotion to that because it happened so long ago.
I've been followed home. I've been stalked. I've had guys try to sexually harass me in just disrespectful ways.
We wake up in a world that is not designed to support transgender people, to welcome us in school, to give us a chance to get an education. Employers are not eager to hire us.
So when we say this, I've experienced this as well. Going and applying for a job. And okay, we're gonna do a second interview. And then you don't hear nothing, and then you call them, oh, well, we went with somebody else. And you know what? I'm gonna give you a perfect example. It was one of my family members. They worked in a position, and this person gave everybody in a family a job. When I say everybody a family, my auntie, my cousins, the third cousins, the sixth cousins, like everybody got a chance to um experience working under her. But do you think that I got that chance? Do you think I didn't have the qualifications? Oh, I had the qualifications. But guess what? That same person was there for about 14, 15, 16 years. And guess what? They got rid of her ass like a hot cake. Hey, Jennifer Lespew. Hey, Tulsa. I'm late getting in. One of my dearest friends is a black trans woman, and I always worry about her. She's a business owner and strong and amazing. I still worry. The fight is always out there. Survival mode is always out there. Defense mode is always out there for us because, as we can see in these spaces, we get to see how people really are, how they really feel about a certain topic. And, some people, they really voice it. And these women, they get in these spaces. And then I say that some of the gay men are enablers and promoters of that because, they just, it's easy for them to click up and be like, to fit in with the heterosexual community. DL. What is DL? DL is you can't see my gayness. But we're gonna get into that. We also don't even know the true number of trans women killed in this country every year because police and families dead name and misgender them when they are killed. Yes. Sometimes with families, they will sit there and just because they don't accept it, that they will sit there and force oh, well, this person is going to go by their real name. We didn't see them as that. That's not how they grew up. And that's messed up.
Casa Ruby is named after this woman, Ruby Corrado, an early activist for trans rights.
My job is to restore their dignity. My number one role here is to restore everything that has been taken away from them.
But when pushed to the margins, some trans women of color turn to what they call survival sex work.
It makes us vulnerable. When we're doing it, we're looking for the next dollar. You can't really block off this person just because we feel a little scared. Girls have been stabbed and thrown out of cars.
If you don't find that nurturing that you need,
I'll just go ahead and speak from experience. And you guys may have heard me say this before, but I started prostitution, at an early age. Um, I was still in middle school when I was doing it. And it was because, your family didn't support, you know, I had to literally pack a bag, go to a friend's house, and my friend, her mom was very accepting. So that was a safe house. And I'll tell you guys more about a safe house as I tell my story. But today we are on a press tour. Make sure you catch us tonight at Evangelist Val's channel. But right now we have to pay some bills. Okay, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys are enjoying the content, but we do have to pay some bills. I don't use Super Chat, I use Cash App, and that is $beautiful 070707. If you want to PayPal me, it's keeping up with YOQUEEN. So that's keeping up with your queen. And if you want to Zelle me, you can Zelle me at Queen Tulsa, Oklahoma at gmail.com. Thank you all for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad to be here and be of service to inform you of what's going on, my reality, and those around me that are affected. So here we are.
Need to survive, more than likely you will die. And most of us died before we're 30.
Zoe made it to 30. She was 23 when she was killed this past June.
This is our memorial to Zoe and Ashanti. They are the last two girls who lost their lives this year.
Ruby takes pictures of all the girls, like Zoe, who call this place home, for a very poignant reason.
I want to have the closest reminder because I know that there's a possibility that they will not come back.
That's just heartbreaking.
Here on the outskirts of DC, on a street known for survival sex work, is where Zoe took her last breath.
She was shot on her back. Can't run away from guns and hate when they live in your community.
Ruby has lost more than 30 of her girls in the past 7 years, but the hurt stings just as much every time.
I couldn't be here. I've been in her life for a long time. I've been her protector. And I couldn't save her. I couldn't keep her from losing her life.
At the end of the day, what killed Zoe Spears?
Society killed Zoe. She had a lot of dreams, and every door that she knocked, very often they will say no.
Keep recording.
When we come back,
They're threatening me and my friend. We don't say.
how a girl's night out
I'm gonna call the cops!
ended like this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to shed some light to my world, what my sisters experience, and the good, the bad, the ugly. Hello, how are you, little boss lady? Hello, Deborah Nichols. Together we break change. Jennifer Love Spewitt. If I missed anybody that had come in, if you are definitely in here, please hit the like button. And tonight we will be on Evangelist Val's channel, and it'll be a Q&A. There was a situation that happened, and we are going to sit down as women, and it's going to be dinner tonight. So I can't promise you what's going to happen, but I can guarantee you don't want to miss what we will have for dinner tonight. So thank you all for tuning in. I just want to shed some light. Um, there's just a lot going on in my world today. I'm a little emotional, and you'll find out why later. We are on a press tour. So this is the Goddess Tulsa press tour. We on a press tour. Yes, we are. We are every gathering, picnic, baby shower, meeting, you name it. Um, I'll drop the link right quick if you guys want to come up and sound off before my voice goes out. And hopefully I have a voice for later on because I stand with my sisters. I'm a voice. I'm learning my power and I'm a goddess, okay? And I'm standing up in my truth and I'll face whatever life throws at me head on. Whatever yes, we're on a press tour. Yes, we'll be over at Evangelist Val's tonight. Actually, let me go ahead and bring that up so you guys can see. We are definitely on a press tour. We'll be having some more interactions coming forward here soon. Okay. Yes. Okay, so let me go ahead and share the screen so you guys can see where we will be. Okay. Tonight, I want you guys to show up, show out in a good way. You know, we're going to be at, let's see, Friday night, family dinner, party guest, Goddess Tulsa, Q&A. Okay, where is this? Okay. I don't think there's a description. Okay. I think there is, but y'all don't give me no. Okay. Yes, my notification on. So make sure you guys have your notification on. Make sure they're set to all. And come on out. Come on out. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. We have a special guest in the building. Hello, Jennifer Love Spewit. How are
Hey, Tulsa, how are you doing?
Oh, it's Goddess Tulsa Love.
I'm sorry, Goddess Tulsa. How are you doing?
Yes. You know what? I'm amazing.
Well, that's great.
Amazing. I'm alive. How are you feeling?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
How was your mental
Um,
today?
my mental today is good. How about yours?
You know what? My mental today, I'm glad you asked. That's a great question. I'm just preparing myself for my husband's colleague's funeral this weekend.
Oh,
Dr.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we're gonna be attending that funeral tomorrow. So I'm really just emotional.
Yeah,
However, um, he made a difference. They told me that I was gonna be a star one day. And just to be walking in my purpose and shedding light on things that matter. I'm really feeling giddy, anxious, all those good things all in one, but still emotional, but still pushing through.
absolutely. Well, I just wanted to come up and say a couple of things. First of all, definitely keep pushing. My friend who I was talking about, she's a Black trans woman in what in a very red state. This she lives in a progressive city, but the state itself is very red, and she has really forged her way into her own path, into her own business, into becoming successful in multiple states. She's not only a performer, but she primarily is a DJ now and is
Okay.
very sought after. As a matter of fact, she doesn't even normally DJ in LGBTQ bars anymore. She pretty much does it in straight bars, straight places, straight weddings, straight events. and they know her and they respect her and they love her because she has worked hard to be where she is and she's always demanded respect. And I think that you also have that same quality, where you also demand respect. And I think that that is going to get you far. So I just wanted to put that out in the universe, and
Well,
say that
thank
you
you
will
so
get
much.
your blessings.
You know what? I'm gonna be a radio personality. I'm gonna be a radio host of my own show, which I feel like that's what I'm doing right now. But I'm thankful for all the experiences, and thank you so much for those manifestations and affirmations. But I won't let myself down, and I won't let you guys down. So stay on my journey. I'm walking in my purpose. I'm glad that you guys are identifying my purpose along with me. And it feels great to have a great support system, because it's one thing to say, oh, yeah, I fucks with you, but to show up and actually give words of encouragement, that's what we need. That's what we need more of. It's let's show up, let's voice it. And then another thing, Jennifer Love, spew it. Another thing, just a suggestion, not a command. So when I ask you how you're doing, don't just say good. Just say good, thanks for asking, because that's just so bland. So let's thank people for asking us how we're doing,
Absolutely. Yeah.
or
So thank
elaborate
you.
on it, and let's start looking in the mirror. I'm going to leave you with a token. If you're not feeling your best, tell yourself, I'm feeling my best. I feel good. Anything that comes my way today, I'm going to handle that with ease, and watch
Yeah.
it change.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I did just want to make one other comment too, whenever you were, if that's okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, Whenever you were talking about, how gay men can be problematic whenever it comes to trans women, you are absolutely correct. And in fact, to me, it's almost some type of similarity, where with gay men, like you said, a lot of times they want to assimilate with straight men.
Uh-huh.
And so they will throw other members of the community under the bus, including, and especially trans women. They will, it's perfectly fine. They love to go to drag shows and see trans women perform and
Mhm.
talk about it and all of that.
I
But whenever
live
it
for
comes,
you.
I'm sorry,
The I live for you.
but
That when they see him out, I live for you.
but it's almost like a fetishization. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, we're good with you. We adore you whenever you're on the stage. But as far as you being an actual human being, oh, we can't be seen with you in public. We don't want to be with you outside of this space. It
Mhm.
is to me a fetishization.
Exactly.
And it
And
is
that's
almost, it's really as dangerous as men who have a fetishization for trans women, instead of just loving them for being a woman. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because a lot of them that have that fetishization are the ones who are truly dangerous to trans women.
Yes, and I was just gonna collab them both together. I'm glad that you pointed that out. But yes, it's a dangerous situation. And another thing is what I've seen and what I experienced with my black brothers that are gay, and they pander to the female audience or the females, and they how they get in is oh well, I don't want to be a woman, and they make it seem like this is what we want to be, or this is what we just no learn the back story of a one story.
And the
you know
thing about that is such an ignorant statement coming from a gay man, because you did not want to be trans any more than I wanted to be gay. You know what I mean? So for a gay man to say, "Oh, I don't want to be that," it's making the assumption that there is a choice in you being trans. Like a trans
God
person, you
made
have
no mistakes. God made
right,
no mistakes. And I'll
right.
just say that clear. And I'm very passionate because, like I said, I've lost sisters in this lifestyle to violence, to, men that were involved and they had to cover up because of the family and this whole generational misinformation. You don't be this, you don't be. Listen, people are born the way that they are.
Yep.
Just like a child that grows and they end up having let's say bound to a wheelchair. They were born that way.
Yep.
You can't change that.
Yep.
You have men
Absolutely.
that are in relationships. Let's just say this. Caitlyn Jenner was
Oh,
married for so many years and suppressed the woman she was inside for
she's
so many years.
and this is the thing that I will say about her. I think she's very problematic.
Very.
But at the same time, like I've seen people, especially a lot of gay men who don't like her, misgender her. And I said, we can talk about her character, but let's
Mhm.
not misgender her.
Let's
You know what I
not.
mean? Just because you don't like her. I mean, I don't like her. I think she's extremely problematic. Even whenever you were talking and whenever the video that you were playing was talking about sex survival work, on her show, she actually was in a group of trans women, and there were Black trans women in there, and one of them was conveying about how she had to do survival sex work. That was the only way that she could survive. And
Mhm.
Caitlyn Jenner just blew her off, and she said, oh, I just don't believe that. But Caitlyn Jenner, although she is trans, lived in the privilege of being a wealthy white man for the majority of her life
Mhm. And let me just say
as
this.
that persona.
Yeah, and let me just say this. I'm glad you brought that point up because politicians could never stand a day in someone as they would consider poverty. They wouldn't last a day in our shoes.
No.
They would not land, they would not, they couldn't. They wouldn't, they don't get it. And so when you're voicing these things to somebody that has never had that experience, it's like, you know, you just have to accept the fact that they just don't get it. But how you get them to understand and see it is to bring content and let's speak about these issues. And I'm glad that you've come up here. And I support and I love everybody. I love everybody. But when somebody gets out of line, yes, we're going to go back and forth because I want to know, why do you feel that way? And
Yeah.
sometimes people don't like that because you're on a positive. Why are we here? Let's figure out why we got here, and let's figure out, let's try to find some common respect here.
Yeah,
You
absolutely. I
know?
agree. I totally agree with you. Now, I don't want to keep you. I just want to come up and say that thing and thank you for allowing me to come up. And I am going to try to make it over to Miss Val's channel tonight too. So I
Okay.
will most likely see you over there. And again, thank you for letting me come up. I'm sorry again for the loss of your husband's coworker. So my prayers will be with you.
Much. And you know what? This is your house too. Like I said, if I throw that link down, this is everybody's house. You come over anytime you want to kick your shoes back and let it off your chest. Say it like you mean it. As Wendy says, no, how you doing?
All righty. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, later.
Bye.
Bye. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I really hope that you all enjoyed the show. I'm glad that we got to engage, you got to see a different point of view. Today's message, because we'll go through because remember, we're going through 26 days of motivation. And remember, we started off with, what did we start off with? Avoid. Okay, we started off with that one. Okay, so our first one was avoid negative sources, people, places, and habits. The second one was believing yourself. 3 was consider things from every angle. Now we're on to D, and D is don't give up and don't give in. Okay, so don't give up and don't give in. Um, yes. and then I'll share the other one tonight on the show. So hopefully, guys, you gods and goddesses, and actually, I don't want you guys to be called kings and queens, or gods and goddesses, because I feel like, when I think about that, I think about that Mary Mary song, and it's the God in me, it's the God in me. You know that song? So we're gods and goddesses. So everybody has a God in them. Okay. So make sure you are definitely loving on the people, but still standing firm in truth and love. Positivity will remind you to remind you to remind you to be positive. Speak your mind. Mary J. Blige said it best. I think I'm actually about to listen to My Life. Everybody go and stream My Life by Mary J. Blige, and hopefully you get something from that. But I gotta go.